Learn how to price your product or service effectively. Hi, I'm Josh from the University of Laverne Small Business Development Center, and here at the SBDC, we help small business owners with free one-on-one consulting and business Q&A videos just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel. One of the hardest things about starting a new business is, how do you price your products? And today, my guest will answer that question. Dr. Steven Fialho is a marketing professor here at the University of Laverne College of Business and Public Management. So let's get into the interview. So how important is it for a business to get pricing right?
Most of the people look at marketing as promotion and sales. Very few people understand that marketing is also tied to product price and distribution place. Price is so important. I'm almost wanting to put price before product. It's almost like it's so important. You need to decide on price, and price is a huge piece of the 4 Ps. You get the price wrong and you don't price it, and it comes from a lot of market research that you have to do for your product. So I think pricing is very critical. So when you said something about price, I said, I can see how businesses struggle with price. There's no doubt in my mind. Our students that are in the IBC program, I tell them when they start up, once you get done with the product and write the business plan, you will deal mostly with price for the rest of the time.
What factors go into pricing your products and services?
One is the marketer needs to understand the difficulty in pricing is most people come in and look at their product and they want to price the product. We have a product and finance will come in and say, this is our cost, this is our markup, this is what we're going to place it in the marketplace. And that's all good coming from that particular point of view. But a marketer, I have to understand a couple of things, and it comes through market research to understand your product, is how much does the customer look at your product and weigh in the value of it, the perceived value of that product. Now, when I teach my marketing classes, I remove the word price and I insert the word pain, okay? Because when we pay for something, it's painful. It's painful to the point that they've done, I deal a lot from neuroscience. Neuroscience will show you that the same part of the brain lights up when we give money away as if somebody was to give me physical pain. So how much pain is your product going to alleviate for the customer? And that will give you a pretty good idea where you could price it. If it's a lot of pain it's covering, I mean, you can charge more money for it. If it's not a lot of pain, you're probably going to be in a very competitive marketplace. And in that sense, you need to understand, I teach my students something called understanding where your anchor pricing is, where that anchor is, because that's what people are going to base the price on. Okay. Give you an example. If I was to tell you what is the average price of a hamburger, a cheeseburger, we'd probably say maybe $5, $6. That's an anchor. So if I said I got a real good cheeseburger and it's $10, you'd probably say it better be a damn good cheeseburger, because I'm going to give up $10 of pain, and it better be so good that it dissolves that pain. Makes sense? But if I said it's cheeseburger's $1, you probably said, I don't think I want to eat that burger, because $1 is just not enough. So understanding the perceived value that a customer has is the start. So I tell my students, ask your friends about products. How big is this problem? I mean, you'll see if you join us for the IBC thing, you see the bank presentation. I ask my students, all your products, how big is this pain? And it needs to be big. If you're going to want to charge a big price, it better hammer out a pretty good sized pain. And I look at value as the perceived value. Like it's not actual value. As you know, if you buy an Apple computer, the perceived value of an Apple computer is very high. But I can look at a Costco ad that they will feature an Apple computer, a Dell computer, HP computer, all on the same page. And that Apple computer is considerably higher than the other ones, like $500 more. And when you look at the attributes, the features of it, you break down the features, Apple really doesn't have the best featured computer. The other ones do. So what's up? It's that perceived value. And people perceive the value of an Apple computer way above that of an HP. I mean, HP computers, the PCs are, I don't know if you have one or you use a PC, but it's almost looked as a disposable product. An Apple computer will be with somebody for the rest of their lives practically, and they don't want to get rid of it. I mean, just ask somebody who owns an Apple product, like I do it in my class. If you have an iPhone, do you still have the box it came in at home? Yes. Why? Because it's that perceived value that I weigh so much on. So understanding that. So I would say for those people, understanding what the perceived value is for your customer and how much pain it wipes out. That's a starting point for where I can price.
Hey guys, if you're getting great value out of this video so far, make sure you hit that like button and share it with your friends. But let's get back to the interview. So how do you go about evaluating your pricing as a small business?
It's pretty simple. You actually go to your accounting department, and if sales are increasing, it's probably a good price. That's how you would tell. And if it's not selling, there's probably a reason why it's not selling. And it may not be price. Okay. I teach a whole, 15-week marketing class, and there's all kinds of components that could weigh into that. Remember, the perception of that product could be wrong because the brain is trying to make a balancing act against what I'm paying for and what it's cost. So if you're going to pin it entirely on price and sales are not coming in because, somebody could say, well, your price is too high, but maybe it's the way you framed it. Maybe it's the way you positioned it. Maybe it's the way you told somebody about your price, your product that could change pricing. So that's one variable that if you're not selling. And then the other variable too, maybe I'm selling it too quick. Maybe I'm leaving money on the table. Maybe I erred on that side. There are times in the IBC program where the students will learn about price in real time. Like they will go to an event, and I've had students do this. They'll take products out there and they'll go, man, we are selling this stuff way too fast. And they'll up the price. And then they'll up the price again. And they go, you see how you might have missed the price because of the venue you were going to. So in market research, if we, like our students would send out a survey and show you the product and price and ask you, is this a price that seems logical to you to buy? And then there's the actual thing where we would actually test it in the market. And you're testing it as soon as you can start seeing it. Is it moving the product? Is it not moving the product? But I will tell you, it's one variable. It's one variable. There could be a ton of things that could be going wrong. And most people want to blame it on price when it's like, maybe price is not the problem. Maybe your customer service is the problem. Maybe your crappy hamburgers are the problem, but you're going to blame it on price.
So how would a small business go about raising their prices?
Raising prices is different than starting high and coming down. It's always easier to start high and then come down because now when I raise them, the brain has already been, let's say if you have a cheeseburger and I want to raise, you never see In-N-Out raise their cheeseburger price substantially. Okay, they will take the In-N-Out cheeseburger price and raise it incrementally, small numbers. And it's called the just noticeable difference. I want to raise it just enough not to make it noticeable when it's in range. So don't just make a leap and say, we're going to charge, unless you're Disneyland and you can charge, hundreds of dollars more for an annual pass. That's not incremental, but that's Disneyland.
And how would a small business communicate that raise in prices to their customers?
If it's just under just noticeable difference, I wouldn't even worry about it. I wouldn't raise a flag. I mean, but when it's dramatic, then I might have to come back in and tell you why. Okay. And you'll probably get pushback. 2 to 3 years ago, I actually used it as a case study in my class. Reed Hastings for Netflix decided to get rid of and raise price. We're going to get rid of one stream and bring on this other stream. We're going to separate DVDs from online, and we're going to create this stuff. We're going to raise prices. They lost so many customers because of that poor not thinking of the decision that he made. Then he had to circle back around and say, no, we're not changing it now. We'll keep it the same way and do this stuff. If they would have just slowly taken that away and not made a big deal out of it, but they made a deal that you had to choose. And the brain thought, I'm getting robbed. I don't like this. Raising a flag to it draws attention to it. Unless you're going to raise it hard. I mean, Disneyland doesn't care. I mean, they will throw the annual price that went from $429 to $699 in 1 year and never even told anybody until people looked at it and they go, and people look at it and go, oh, that's the price. That's what you got to pay. It's Disneyland. I would say small businesses probably lack in the element of this, because I've seen this. I've done, small business, chamber of commerce workshops too. They spend so much time on the other elements of marketing and forget how important price is. And that's why you'll probably get them circling back around. We got a problem with price because we didn't start thinking about price until we're not selling. And then at that point, it's almost too late. I mean, you got to think about price through the whole deal, like from the beginning to the end. I mean, if you think about it, in our IBC program, we start with price and we start with the product. And within the second week of that program, I am teaching price. That's how important that is. But think about a small business. When do we really get into that? We're into operations. We're hiring people. We're doing all this stuff. We bring the stuff in and they don't really focus on the price early enough in the market. So I'd say if you're going to write this, say, focus on the price early in the marketing process. Don't save it for last. Start really thinking and talking and asking questions. You can't ask enough questions. It's Peter Drucker says that it's never about we never go wrong with getting the right answers. We always go wrong because we don't ask the right questions. We're not asking the right questions, and that's how we go wrong.
I want to give special thanks to Dr. Fialho for his insight on marketing and pricing and for his help with this video. Question of the day: have you priced your products or services before? Do you have any tips of your own? Leave them down in the comments below. If you found this video valuable, leave us a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to get updates on all of our newest videos to start and grow your new business. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.